So, good morning, everyone, once again. In the last class, we have discussed the concept of graphs, and in that, we have discussed how to locate some points on the graph also. Today, I gave you one question also. First, we will discuss that. So, in that, you can see we have a distance and a money thing. So, class, please tell me which thing we will take as the x axis. It is written over here already. We will take this as Rishita Mehta. Okay. We will take the points of distance on x-axis, and like this it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we will take on y-axis the money part. 1, this is 0 origin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this is -1, -2. Here also we have in similar way. If you make it in a expanded way, it will be easy. Yes, same like yesterday. Now we have to put the points. I have told you the first coordinate in this pair is your x coordinate, and the second coordinate is y coordinate. So we have 1 comma 3. So we will find 1 on x axis, we will find 3 on y axis, and we will draw lines like this to draw the perpendiculars. This is your first point A, 1 comma 3. Class, are you able to understand this one? Have you all got it correct, the copy? Please confirm. Okay. The second point is 3 comma 5. So 3 is over here and 5 is here. So we will get it somewhere here. If you observe, it is your point B. Then point C is -1 comma 3. So on x-axis we have -1, on y-axis we have 3. I hope you all got this point correct. So -1 is here. If you observe, this is -1 on the left hand side of origin, and this is 3. So the point will lie somewhere here. By mistake, the 3 came on the point, but no issue. This will be your point C. Class, were you all able to find this point, especially because it was having a negative coordinate? Please confirm. Were you all able to understand this point? Okay, so we had a -1 on the x-axis, we had a 3 on y-axis. When you join perpendicularly, when you draw the lines like this, you will get the point C at the point of intersection of these two lines. Now, the fourth point is 5 comma 3. So 5 on x-axis, 3 on y-axis, it will be somewhere here, the point T. This, what you say, location of points, you will learn in class 9th also, but I gave you an idea in this class so that it will be easy for you to understand in that class. Point E is 3 comma 1. So 3 is here, 1 is here. This is point number E. So this was the total concept of locating points on number line. Yes, class? Is it clear? Shall we proceed to the questions? Okay, so we have discussed till now in the NCRT about pie charts, about bar graphs, about the kink we have done. Then we came to the concept of line graph, which is in front of you. You can see first they have located these points on the graph paper, and then they have just joined it. So we all know when you join 2 points, what do you get? Please tell. If you join 2 points in a with a straight line, you get a line only. If there is no curve, you get a straight line. So this is known as a line graph where you are joining all the points in a sequence. Okay, this is a line segment. Okay, and you can see in this graph, the kink is on y-axis, but not on x-axis. So it depends in which axis you want the kink. Class, are you able to understand? Are you able to understand the concept of kink? Why they are not using it here? Let me show you. If you see in this, the gap, please tell me what is the scale of x-axis? If you observe this graph, what is the scale of x-axis? Please tell. Please tell. In 1 unit, how much time they are having? How many hours they are moving in 1 unit? Yes, in 1 unit there are 4 hours. Let us see. No, one second. In one, if you see, if this is 1 unit, then it is 2, because 2 plus 2 plus 2 will give you 6. I think it is 2 hours, 1 unit. If I take one box as 1 unit, it will be 2 hours, not 4 hours, class. But As per them, I think they have taken 4 hours only, so you all are correct. Let us see how. They have taken 2 boxes as 1 unit. In your graph paper also, you will find that a simple box is divided in 2 parts. है ना? So you can say the one part is 4 hours, so you all are correct. This is 4, then this is 4. Like this, it can go. But if you take 2 and 2 also, that will also be correct. So like that, if I write, 1 second, let me take the eraser. Let me show you again. So what they have done actually is, in this question, they have taken this as 2 a.m., this as 4 a.m., this as 6, this as then 8, then 10, then they have taken it as I think 10 a.m., then it is 12 p.m. Na? Or you can take it as 12 p.m. is fine. After that we get 2 p.m., then 4 p.m., then 6 p.m. and so on. So if you want, you can take 1 unit as this much in your graph paper. If you want, you can take 1 unit as 2 boxes also. It is your choice. But as it was starting from 0 and there was no gap, that is why kink was not required. Class, are you able to understand why kink is not given on the x-axis? Are you able to understand this thing? Because it is starting from 0 and the gap between each value is exactly same. There is no unevenness. But in this case of temperature scale, you can see from 0 to 30, the first gap is of 0 to 30. Then we have 30 to 32. That means they have a scale of 2 units or 2 degrees Celsius. But in the starting, they are having a gap of 30. That is why they have put a kink over there to avoid that much longer graph. Yes, class? It is clear to everyone the concept of kink. Whatever doubt you had in chapter number 5, I think that is clear now by this chapter. Okay, now let's come to the question. Example number 1. What it is saying, the given graph 15.7 represents the total runs scored by 2 batsmen A and B. So there are 2 batsmen A and B. The graph is showing us the total runs scored by them during each of the 10 different matches in the year 2007. So is in the year 2007 they had some matches and the graph is showing us the runs they have made. Study the graph and answer the following questions. The first is, what information is given in 2 axes? Class, please tell. If you see on x-axis what is given to us, please tell. Just by seeing the graph, what can you say about the x-axis? What it is telling us? Please tell. Plus, it is telling us the number of matches played. It is telling us the number of matches played. You can see one is telling one match played or second match or third match. So it is telling us the number of match that is being played by the person. If he is playing the first match, you can see in the first match how much run he has scored. If you want to see in the fifth match, you can go to the 5 number and you can see the what you say performance in that particular match. So this is telling you the matches number that you want to see. Okay, now second thing they are asking for 2 axis. Now tell me what are we understanding from y-axis. First tell me what we are understanding from y-axis. We are understanding the number of runs scored. Now comes the second question. The first question was, what do you get from the axis? First, from x-axis we are getting the number of matches played. From y-axis we are getting the number of runs scored. Okay, now we will see the second part. Second part is saying, one second. Second part is saying which line shows the run scored by batsman A. Class, tell me. We are comparing two people now. In this graph paper, we are comparing two people. We have to tell there are two kind of lines. One is a solid line and second is a dash line. One is a solid line you can see and one is a dash line. Which line is showing us the performance of A? Yes, you have to see. They have clearly mentioned this thing on the top of the graph that dash lines are for batsman A or the dotted lines are for batsman A and the solid line is for batsman B. If you want, you can use two different color also. Plus, in similar way, if you are drawing a graph paper, you can use two different colors, three different colors to show a batsman. You can say the red color is for batsman A, the yellow color is for batsman B. Is that okay? Are you able to understand this thing? So this That the dotted line and the solid line is helping us to understand that we can, what you say, easily find what we want to find without any confusion. Okay, so this is also clear, the second part. Now let's see the third part. Were the runs scored by them same in match in 2007? If so, in which match? So class, let us try to understand by seeing the graph and tell me, was there any instance when they had same number of runs in a particular match? If so, tell me the match number in which it was. Okay, Ananya is saying in match number 4. Others please try. If you observe, the first point is different, second point is different, third point is different, but the fourth point is here. The fourth point is exactly same. They both have scored how much runs, beta? They both scored how much runs? Please tell. They both scored 60 runs. In which number of match? In fourth match. In the fourth match, they have scored the same number of runs, that is 60. Is there any other match in which they have scored the same runs? Please tell. Is there any other match? No. There is no other match in which they have scored the same number of runs. So it is fine. Option is correct. Now the fourth part. Among the two batsmen, who is steadier? How do you judge it? So who is steadier means who is consistent with the performance. Plus, who is more consistent as per you? Please tell. Batsman A is more consistent or B? B is more consistent because you can see the range. Actually, this consistency we can tell by the range. If you see this batsman number A, sometimes he is scoring 0. In third match, he has scored 0. In second match, he has scored 110, 120. So he is like our Sehwag. So Sehwag also in some matches, if he clicks, he is the best batsman. But in the starting, if he gets out, that is also possible. So when Sehwag was playing, it was like that only. So he got ducks 2 times. So he is like a hitter in the match, na? He is only there for hitting. That is why he is not that consistent. But batsman number A, batsman number B is more consistent. In every match, he is playing consistently. Okay, B is Virat as per you. Okay, B is Virat. Fine. So we have got this, and with this we have done this question. One question from my side. Please tell me what is the scale of x-axis, what is the scale of y-axis, and then we are done. Not Virat, Karthik is saying. Okay, Karthik, then what? MS. Okay, first tell me that answer. It will be Saurabh Ganguly. Okay, good. You still remember? That is a good thing. Please tell. So please tell how it is same runs and same. One second. And same overs. But overs के बारे में they are not saying anything. Number of overs they are not saying anything. They are just saying in that particular match they have scored the same run. That's it. Okay, it is KL Rahul by Abhinav Tiwari. Okay, just tell me one thing. What is the scale? Just has given the scale to me. Others please give. On y-axis what is the scale? On x-axis what is the scale? Sarah is saying 10 is the scale of y-axis. So Sarah, you should write on y-axis 1 unit equal to 10 runs. You should write like this, not 10, but 10 runs. That will be more clear. And tell me, what about the scale of x-axis class? Scale of x-axis, they are taking 2 boxes as 1 unit. So they are taking 1 unit equal to 1 match. So that is correct. Okay. Now, let's take question number 2. I think we have how many examples? Example 2 are there. Nah? So I am making you people ready for the first 5 questions. If you are able to solve, that will be easy. Sir, no, Yashna, this is your x-axis. This is your x-axis, the lower one. It is a convention. We always try to write x-axis on the lower portion and y-axis on this one. This is your y-axis. This is your x-axis. Okay, Yashna? And they both are perpendicular to each other. You can see, you cannot draw like this. This is also a number line. This is also a number line, but they both are intersecting at a perpendicular angle. So they both are at 90 degree of each other. Now let us see the example number 2. The given graph describes the distance of a car from a city P at different times. One car is going from a city P somewhere to sub city, different city, and they have given us a graph in which on the x-axis we have time, on the y-axis we have distance from P. Class, try to understand the graph properly. Now they are saying when it is traveling from city P to city Q, which are 350 kilometer apart. So this P and Q are having a distance of 350 kilometers. So P is here, Q is here, and the distance between them is 350 kilometers. Like from here to, you can say Jaipur, but Jaipur is a little bit farther, but it is like that only. So P is Delhi, Q is Jaipur. Now, what they are saying? What they are saying is, okay, what information is given on the two axes? Class, first thing, what information is given on the x-axis? Time is given to us. On y-axis, distance is given to us from P. And Yashna is correct. She is saying on x-axis, 1 unit equal to 1 hour. And on y-axis, 1 unit equal to how much? Class, please tell. On y-axis, 1 unit equal to how much? Please tell. Yes, it is 50, not meters, not meters. Joel, wrong, not meters. 50 kilometers. Okay, it is kilometers. Now it is correct. Now let us start. Second part, from where and when did the car begin its journey? Class, tell me from where and when. Yes, in x-axis, kink is used because they must not be using the before time. Because if you start from zero, try to understand. If you start from zero, the time it will be 1, 2 p.m. Sorry, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m. And that 7 a.m.'s times are wasted in your graph. That is why they have pushed the graph and found a kink. Okay, Yashna is saying at 8 a.m. they have started and 50 kilometers. Okay, from where and when did the car begin its journey? Try to understand. Not 50 kilometer. From where means किस जगह से start किया? From P they have started and they have started at what time? At 8 a.m. If you understand, does it make sense that at 8 a.m. they have traveled 50 kilometers? आपने गाड़ी start करी and you have traveled 50 kilometers. Will that be correct? Is it possible? No, because we are not on a rocket. Because rocket only can cover this much distances, na, in these short times. So the next part, okay, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. it is 50 kilometers. That is correct. That is proper thing to say. Now, what is the third part? How far did the car go in first hour? This is the question. Yes, this is the question. In the first hour, the car went for 50 kilometers. Out of 350, the car has traveled 50 kilometers in the first hour. Yes. Now, what is given to us? Fourth part. How far did the car go during the second hour? In the second hour, how much it traveled? You can see it is the graph is turned like this. It is more steep. If it is more steep, that means slope is more. If slope is more, it is traveling at a higher speed. Try to understand the slope. What is slope of a graph? I'm just giving you an idea. If a graph is like this, how should I tell? Hmm. Okay, that would be better. This is the base, and this is the, what do you say? Suppose this is a mountain. Suppose, which mountain is steep? This is the first mountain. This is second mountain. Tell me which mountain is steeper. This one is steeper, first one, or the second one? Second one is steeper because it is having the higher slope. इसको slope कहते हैं हम लोग. This slope is less. This slope is large. Okay. This slope is less. This slope is large. So when we are traveling to a, what you say, a hill station, we will be giving less efforts if it is lower slope. अगर slope कम है तो we will be giving less efforts. अगर slope ज़्यादा है, it will be difficult for us to climb that particular hill station. Sir, in this graph, why point at 1 p.m. is not given? Maybe because they are not counting at that point. Maybe at that point they were eating some food, so they forgot to put the point of distance. And it happens when we are covering every hour. Sometimes we in the talks we forget to do that thing. Maybe they also while talking forgot to put these points where they have reached, है ना? Now let us see the break time. Yes, it was their break time. They were enjoying this time. Okay. uh, or maybe the person who was taking the count of all these things, he has slept, है ना? Then also this problem can come. Now what do we have? Second hour is done. In the third hour, how much traveled? Class, please tell. This was the first hour, this was the second hour. In the third hour, that is from 10 to 11 a.m. In the third hour, they have traveled how much? Please tell class. They have traveled from this point, that is 150 to 200. No, don't say they have traveled 200. It is wrong. You have to understand. They want you to tell in the third hour itself. In the first hour, they traveled 50 kilometers. In the second hour, they traveled 150 minus, because I think you are doing mistake. In the second hour, what they have done is they have already traveled 50 kilometers and they traveled 150. So in second hour, they did 150 minus 50, 100 kilometers. Try to understand. You have to subtract that also. Sir, yesterday Delhi qualified for IPL for this year. Delhi has better chance of winning because of finished again, so that they will chance of reach the final. Okay. Okay, nice. Delhi, you are cheering. It is good. Now see. So in the second hour means in that time only, not from the starting. You have to understand. So in second hour, that is 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. At 9 a.m. they were at 50 kilometers. At 10 a.m. they are at 150 kilometers. So you have to subtract this. 150 minus 50 will give you 100 kilometers. In the third hour, you have to see in the initial time, that is 10 a.m. they are at what position? Please tell. In the third hour, in starting 10 a.m., they are at what distance? Please tell. In the third hour, they are at what distance initially? Initially, they are at 150. At 11 a.m., 11 a.m. they are at, please tell, at 11 a.m. they are at 200. So 150 pe they were initially, and they have reached 200 after 1 hour. So they have traveled how much? 200 minus 150, that is 50 kilometers. So this is the concept that you have to understand. They are only interested in finding in that particular hour how much it traveled. That's it. They are not asking from the starting how much it traveled. They are asking in that particular hour how much they traveled. You have to read the question very carefully. Okay, now let's see the next part. The next part is, did the car stop for some duration at any place? Kya? Did they stop at any dhaba or something? Yes. At what time they stopped? And how do you know it? Between 11 to 12, because the slope is zero. The slope is zero. You can understand. This was a slope, this was higher slope, and this is a zero slope. It is like a land thing. And this is saying in the complete hour, in the complete hour, the position is not changing. You can see at 11 a.m. the position is 200 kilometers. At 12 p.m. the position is same. 200 kilometers only. So 200 minus 200 is plus, 200 minus 200 is 0. That is why we can say it is at rest. Okay. Now the last part I think is, okay, in that justify your answer, you can say this thing. At 11 a.m. the position is 200 kilometers. At 12 p.m. the position is 200 kilometers. So final minus initial is 0 kilometers. That is why the car is at rest. This is the justification of your answer. You can give like this. Now the seventh part is saying, when did the car reach city Q? Tell me class. At what time they reached city Q? They have to travel 350 kilometers for that, and that time is 2 p.m. and you all are correct. You all are correct for this thing. Now tomorrow I want you all to complete these questions of 15.1. They all are similar. Just try to read the questions carefully. After you have done all the questions, then you can check your answer at the back. At 1 p.m. 275. हाँ तो but maybe in 1 hour they have increased the speed. They have to reach in some function or something. Sir, I think chapter is, it is compulsory to use make these bars. No, you don't have to draw these graphs. while solving the questions in the copy, no need to draw these graphs because they are in the question only. When you have to draw, then only you draw. Okay, in these you can directly use from the book. No need to draw in the copies. Just write the question number, part number, and the solution, but observe the graph very carefully. Okay, now I'm stopping the recording.